Is it a coincidence that in all of human history, there have been blind deaf people? Not once in human history, other than Helen Keller, have they been able to engage with someone like this and speak in this way. And also, and you may say to me, "Oh, there was someone 50 years prior to Helen Keller that was also a taught blind deaf person." That person is even less credible than Helen Keller. They literally are. I went on a deep fucking dive of it. And so,
I can't believe you're shitting on him. This is awesome.
And we're live.
I was reading something recently. I have to pull it back up, and I think it's going to be my next conspiracy. There is no fucking way that Helen Keller had any idea what was going on.
Oh my God, this is great. Please save it. This is so wonderful.
That's going to be my next
That's
conspiracy.
just mean.
That bitch had no fucking clue what was going on.
Dude, she absolutely did.
No, she did. Wow. You can't see, you can't speak, you can't hear, you can't do anything, and you're just magically programmed through massage therapy.
Have you never seen the movie?
The parents had money.
Have you never seen the movie?
I don't give a fuck about the movie, and I'm not letting that change my already established
So it sounds
belief.
like all you have is ignorance on the subject.
Ignorance is powerful.
Tell me the last time you looked into her whole life in the
I watched the movie The Miracle Worker about the woman who taught her sign language by holding her hand underwater and then spelling in sign language in her hand water.
No.
Until she understood it. And then they were able to formulate the
response. Her going
because she was able to then sign back water to the woman when she touched water.
Look a little
and they
more
moved
in there.
that, they built that into a vocabulary, and they built it to the point where she could have conversations by signing into her caregiver's
you know, most
hand.
of her conversations, scratch that, 100% of her conversations were done through the same woman that were hired by her family, and they had enough money, and they didn't want to believe that their daughter was just a fucking retard who couldn't do anything. And so this caregiver's taking advantage of it. It's a cash cow at the time. Dude, don't get me started on this.
Taylor, your
right
take
now.
on Helen Keller is so wonderful. I no longer have a conspiracy topic because you've raised the bar.
Yes. Helen Keller was a goddamn retard, and I'm going to prove it.
Mine's going to be that
crowdsource
Charles
my
Manson
topic.
was. Mine's going to be that Charles Manson was a CIA asset. So we can go hand in hand.
Ooh, that's a real good. I'm interested to hear.
There's a whole book about it. It's very interesting stuff. I will make you believe.
All right, put that in my notes. Helen Keller was retarded.
I'm going to ask my Twitch stream to help me crowdsource an idea for this because the bar is high.
Yeah. Oh, we're moving big time from the Denver airport, bros. What'd you do last time, Kyle? The Holocaust.
I can't come rolling in with a pedestrian topic when you guys are hitting hard. We need help.
No, that bitch was retarded for sure, dude.
It's so horrible.
Who gives a shit?
She
She didn't know what was going on.
You got to watch The Miracle Worker before you can talk shit about that poor blind deaf woman.
Oh, do I have to watch a Miracle Worker? I can't see or feel or hear or speak. I have a manipulative handler who took advantage of me to make money. And my parents let him do it because it made them feel better to think that their child wasn't a total retard.
She's called The Miracle Worker.
It's a movie.
She's universally known as a wonderful human being.
I don't care. It's a lie. And history is founded on lies. Name a historical event and I'll tell you how wrong it is.
The St. Louis Blues winning the cup.
That's the one exception.
Abraham Lincoln was shot in the head.
You wish. he's living in Argentina right now.
According to the Whitest Kids You Know episode, he was actually beaten in the ass with a hammer to death, and they had to conceal it because it was so humiliating.
Calm down, just calm down.
Oh, you fucked up now. You have fucked up now. Now you have fucked up. Now you have fucked up.
So the two that I prepared are Albert Einstein, fraudulent plagiarist, and Helen Keller, secret retard.
I'm off to a good. You're off to a good start. I'm sorry.
These Hallmark movie titles are just getting out of hand.
Like a sci-fi movie.
Helen Keller, Secret Retard.
So either of those, which one do you guys
Helen
want?
Keller. I want Helen Keller. That's the one's going to piss me off.
Helen Keller. Okay. All right. So I will make the case that at absolute best, and this is at absolute best, Helen Keller was able to say and comprehend a few words and short phrases. All the advanced speech she gave was trained and rehearsed for her by her trainer and teacher, Anne Sullivan, almost like a parrot more than a person.
Wow.
And so I will say this. She went blind and deaf at 19 months old. Do you know what the prognosis is for children who go blind and deaf at 19 months old in the year 2020 as opposed to 125 years ago? It's that they will never be able to function in society. They will never be able to communicate. They will not be able to engage in normal behavior. There is no hope. You just have to mitigate it. I looked up a lot of reviews of people who talk about this kind of thing, who work with blind deaf people. And what they say is that you're way more likely to have to engage with them lashing out violently at you because of confusion. And, you know, it's sad. They're totally distanced from reality. And so they obviously lash out. You're way more likely to engage in that kind of behavior from these patients than you are them trying to read, because they can't read. There's a fundamental level of perception that you need in order to engage with anyone on any meaningful level. And that includes both audio and visual. You know, you don't need both. Because
I never thought of this.
There are deaf people who can communicate and there are blind people who can communicate, but that's only because blind people take advantage of audio. Deaf people take advantage of visual. That's the only reason that it's able to be done. Is it a coincidence that in all of human history, there have been blind deaf people? Not once in human history, other than Helen Keller, have they been able to engage with someone like this and speak in this way. And also, and you may say to me, "Oh, there was someone 50 years prior to Helen Keller that was also a taught blind deaf person." That person is even less credible than Helen Keller. They literally are. I went on a deep fucking dive with it. And so,
I can't believe you're shitting on them. This is awesome.
So I'm saying it's simple. It is far more likely that she is a hoax than it is likely that of all blind deaf people throughout human history, she is the only one that was capable of speech. And not only speech, because remember this is not purported that she was able to recognize water. It was purported that she was a very political person with a lot of astute observations about the goings on in society. And what you don't know is that Anne Sullivan, her teacher, isn't it remarkable that all of Helen Keller's political beliefs align exactly with those of Anne Sullivan, her teacher? That's weird. It's weird that she finds this one woman, teaches her how to say a couple words. There are literally political speeches of Helen Keller that you can find where the actual speech is Anne Sullivan standing there talking with Helen Keller's hand moving in her hand. And you know
it's just like Joe Biden.
It's almost like Joe Biden. I will say this. There was an established way that Anne Sullivan said that Helen Keller communicated, and that was to make single measures, single positions in the hand of Anne Sullivan that meant different letters. Yet in all of these speeches, Helen Keller is furiously signing, not that furious because she's retarded, and what it turns out is that Anne Sullivan is speaking at a normal pace, a normal everything, giving normal speeches about politics or beliefs, everything. Hey, try and speak one sentence to me, Kyle, where instead of saying the words out to me, you spell them out. And not even with your hand, spell them out with your mouth. How long does it take? Say, "Hello, my name is Kyle," with just the letters.
F-U-C-K space Y-O-U.
All right.
Oh my
You know how much
God,
longer that
that's
took
great.
than saying, do you
He's
see how much
making
longer that
great
took?
How dare you
points here.
disparage the miracle worker?
No,
Are you
no,
fucking
I got
kidding me?
another
Helen
page.
Keller was a scam?
That's Patty Duke,
Helen Keller
motherfucker.
was fucking scam. Do you really think that do you think there's one blind deaf person that's ever achieved this? And not only that, she mimics the exact political views of her teacher, which are very, extremist views in a lot of situations, especially for the time. You think that's a coincidence? You think that's real? You think that now? So in the last 120 years, no other deafblind people have been able to be reached this way. No other ones. All the advancements in science, all the advancements in everything, none of them are reached. That's fucking crazy. Isn't that weird?
Where's Ann Sullivan?
Ann Sullivan's dead. Oh,
you got to dig her ass up. Get to the bottom of this.
Dig her those hands out. What a great point. So Ann Sullivan used to talk at these things. She would be the voice of Helen Keller, allegedly, and Helen was supposed to be talking to her, and she would talk in a normal cadence.
Yes, and she would speak.
So that's impossible from what you just demonstrated, because she's getting one letter at a time. That would be a long, drawn-out speech.
Yes.
What's hilarious?
Is it possible to have shorthand like a court reporter?
She can't even see or hear. You think she's doing
I love this. I love this.
And so I maintain
Helen Keller.
I maintain
My question, Taylor.
This bitch has been retarded from the start, and we've all been bamboozled.
Is Helen Keller even in on the ruse, or is she just playing palm tickle games the whole time, unaware that there's a speech happening?
Of course, she's not in on the ruse. She's retarded.
If she's retarded,
maybe she's the mastermind.
Also, here's another thing. The big thing from The Miracle Worker was the scene where Helen Keller and her retard voice is like, what? And like saying water on there. There's no way to falsify that claim. She doesn't know if water means water. She doesn't know if water means wet. She doesn't know if water means cold. She doesn't know if it means the sensation of water rolling over her fingers. There's no way to falsify what she could possibly mean by expressing that term. And so for that reason, I say it is absolutely 100% verified based on this 2-page document I made earlier today that Helen Keller was a fucking retard. And she absolutely was used by Ann Sullivan. And let me add to this. She came from a very, very wealthy family, and her parents did not want to accept that she was retarded. They were very afraid of that. And so they paid Ann Sullivan.
We saw that in the movie where she would go around and just smash things on the table and take everyone's food like an animal.
Exactly. And so her parents were desperate. They would pay any amount to any teacher. You think Ann Sullivan was the first teacher that came in there? No, there were tons of teachers that came in prior that said, yeah, I'm sorry, she doesn't have a lot of mental
screaming.
She can't engage with reality, unfortunately. It is very sad. It's a very sad story. But that doesn't change the fact that she had rich parents who were heavily invested in her not being a mental midget. And they used Ann Sullivan, who then used Helen Keller to both raise money for her own political causes and espouse the same beliefs that she held in order to get publicity. Something else you don't know about her. She did not get publicity and become famous after all of her stuff, all of her speeches. She was a novelty way before that. She was a novelty way prior to any of this. Just when she went to an all-girls school who could obviously speak and see and hear, that was like a national news story in the early 1900s. Oh my God, she's really going to school with these people. How can you graduate school in 4 years if not only can you not go back and reread things and reanalyze things without someone giving it to you, but you also have the ability to read when a paragraph takes 5 hours to read, you're not graduating the same time. This shit is so absurd. It is so absurd on its fucking.
So why
face.
would they give her like a diploma? Because didn't she get a university diploma also? And
she was famous. She was famous.
Yeah, and yeah. So what motive would the university have? Publicity for like graduating this fucking retard?
Yeah.
So eloquently put it.
It sounds to me like what you're saying is Helen Keller, secret genius,
secret retard, and. There we go. There's
wow. I am stunned. Dude, that was fucking concise. I give it to you.
Thank you. She's a retard. So there's my first one. The Einstein one's even better.
But yeah,
let's do it, man. We got to get us a little retarded kid.
Does that
one
link
more
thing?
Wouldn't we have? You're right. Wouldn't we have seen more deaf, blind people excelling, especially in this day and age? You look at people with disabilities that kept them out of any type of social interaction even a few decades ago, and now people are living perfectly well in society with certain mental problems, and you would think you'd get one more Helen Keller who would be deaf and blind and going around and touring and
it's
nothing,
almost like
nothing.
It's almost like it was easier to bullshit people 130 years ago. It's almost that's what
very good.
No,
My
because what you're
God.
describing is exactly what they did with Coco, the gorilla. It would Coco can't speak at all. She just makes symbols, and the bitch, her Ann Sullivan, just says what she thinks Coco means. It's the same exact thing.
I was absolutely devastated when I deep dived
Still
into
need
Coco.
access.
I was like, oh no. This gorilla wasn't talking. I loved that story. I loved it so
it's
much.
Adorable with the kitten. It puts the hat on and shit like that. So I'm fine with Coco.
You know something else with Coco is that she had a fixation on nipples and breasts, and so there were people who took out like cases against the zoo because like some chick reporter would show up and be like, "I'm here to talk to Coco," and then some zookeeper would be like, "Yeah, she likes it when you pop your tits out," and like there were newscasters who do that. So Coco could like grab the nip or something, and so
nice Coco.
Sexual harassment.
I wish you had made your conspiracy theory that Coco was in fact not a gorilla, but a man in a gorilla suit.
No, that would be something.
Now that would be fucking hilarious if a guy dressed up as a fucking gorilla and had perfect sign language.
Yeah.
But also like titties.
Yeah. Woody, I did manage to open your
the third one
slot.
I think should work.
The third one works.
Yeah.
One works for me. Yeah. So Woody likes to create PowerPoints to go along with his conspiracy slides. And so just because we always vote at the end of these, because the goal is to try and convince people who is compelled by my Helen Keller presentation.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
You're gonna win.
That was crazy.
You're gonna win. I haven't heard Kyle's yet, but
I'm throwing away all my Helen Keller memorabilia I have around the house. Fuck that.
You kicked off so strong.
See, but the goddamn Helen Keller shit just makes perfect
Oh, it's
sense.
killer.
It's a strong one.
It's so obvious. We have history. We have obviously she couldn't have done that. So yeah, wow, that's a tough one. That is.
I remember watching that movie.
But there's two left.
Yeah.
I remember watching that movie in school and being taught about the miracle worker and Helen Keller.
Yeah.
And it hurts to come to the realization that yes, she was a fraud. Like he's brought this up before, and I was like, "You're just an asshole. You're just an asshole." She's an inspirational story.
My childhood.
But if he's to be believed, I've done zero research on my own, that no one has ever done what she did. Then you're left with two options. Either she's either a genius or a retard. It's literally one or the other. Like she's like either the smartest deaf-blind person that's ever existed. Like if she'd had her senses, she'd have been Einstein. Yeah. Maybe not Einstein, because apparently he's about to disprove Einstein. But
oh yeah, right.
or she in fact was a literal retarded person.
I think it's like when like Ann Sullivan must have been like with Helen thinking it was like a dog. You ever see people online? They're like, "Look, my dog," and it goes, "Oh, it's saying I love you." Yeah, my dog said I love you. It's like, no, your stupid dog didn't say I love you.
Right, it made three syllables. I'll give you that.
Shit or something.
Instead, it's more like it's like this, and she's like, she says that capitalism is inherently flawed, folks.
Yeah. I don't know.
Let me read you a supposed quote from Helen.
Oh, okay. I would like to hear a quote from the great Ms. Keller.
Did she ever get married? That would be interesting.
Oh God!
From her that lines up exactly with the beliefs of her teacher. It is.
It's got fucking papers.
When we watched that movie in junior high, the only thing I remember is the 20-minute speech our teacher gave us about how if anyone laughed at the end of the movie, how much, like he had a whole chart on this is how, if you snicker, this is how much trouble you're going to get in.
Yeah.
All right, man. We don't,
God,
you fucking, funny. You are showing us this movie. We don't want to see it.
Yeah.
Can I just conjugate verbs in the outside, please?
It was a great way to find out who was going to be a comic in the room.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, okay, that's going to be a comic.
He sat on my desk during the entire movie.
I believe that.
Your balls are on my hand, dude. He's like, tell your parents, they're not going to care. You're right. Can I at least watch? It sounds funny. What's going? No, you may not watch.
Try watching that movie as a 16-year-old and not cracking the fuck up. It's so funny.
Yeah, there's no way.
So, can we walk out of that class like drunks, like just silent? That was the good shit, man. That was the good shit.
So tell me if you think this seems more likely to have come from Anne Sullivan, her teacher, who is very politically motivated, or more likely to come from a person, the only person in human history, blind, deaf, and mostly dumb, that can't that can actually
Pinball wizard.
Yeah. Here's Helen Keller's quote, translated by Anne Sullivan. Our worst foes are ignorance, poverty, and the unconscious cruelty of our commercial society.
Oh, fuck.
These are the causes. These are the causes of blindness. These are the enemies which destroy the sight of children and workmen and undermine the health of mankind. Does that seem like a blind, deaf person?
Nah.
Helen Keller said that?
No,
how long did it take her to say it? How many months did it take her to say that?
She was a college graduate, Taylor. She speaks like that.
Anne Sullivan said that shit. I'm throwing this in the finished box. I win.
Oh my god!
Either that retard was more eloquent than all of us combined.
It's a slam dunk, my friend.
Or the more likely thing is that she was manipulated and used. So, just saying.
Bring.com.
I'm telling you, even Helen Keller stuff, you go on Google and you try and search it, you get a curated list of sources. You go on Bing and it's like you actually get what the highest ranking.
This piece of shit. Yeah, piece of shit. Helen Keller is the first thing that comes up.
What I was searching
with retard,
bitch, idiot. I could say all this right to her face, and she would know what the fuck was going on.
She would know. Fuck. What? What are you saying to me? What did you call me?
Unless I let her go like this on my face, she's not gonna have a fucking clue what I'm saying.
You just like point her finger at herself and then dump a load of shit in her hand. You're fucking shit.
What is it, Ellen? It's shit.
She learns to communicate through sense of smell.
How's your sense of smell?
It didn't get to this point, but one of my evidences of Helen Keller was just going to be to link you guys a video and be like, she's clearly retarded. She's clearly a retarded person.
She would have to be. I don't know if I made my point well before, but it's like, even if her brain wasn't born dysfunctional, without potential, it wasn't nourished.
Yeah. She's not getting the input.
My mom's
it's an empty hard drive.
My mom's a teacher, and she has seen those environmentally retarded kids who just like grew up with like dumb parents who didn't like talk to them at all, and now they're retarded and they'll never be like the same again. Like if they had been fostered in like an educational environment, okay, you could work at Walmart, Billy. But instead, they grew up absolutely malnourished mentally.
Yeah, it's so interesting. There's a specific amount of time that a child has to learn the basics. And a parent has to be very nurturing and fostering, and they have to learn things by touch and smell and all their senses. And if they don't, in that really limited amount of time, they're going to have all kinds of developmental problems later. So true. You got to get in there early with that shit.
That's why. So I have some expertise. I have a special needs son, and he had like a big language delay. So we spent like our whole lives racing the clock, trying to get him to certain language.
Right. Those what are they called? Landmarks. Yeah.
Because whatever, he turns 21 and you can't expect a lot of speech improvement after that.
Yeah. It's such an odd, fucking amazing thing how that works. It's just goop. Why does the time matter?
Right? Yeah.
It's just a big load of goop. It's not a fucking computer with a timer and a circuit stops. It's just goo.
And what's so special about language? You could learn something. If you had to learn, I don't know, a new city or something, you'd be fine. But you can't learn a language? I don't know. But
like a language, and that's the weirdest thing. Like children learn their basic language without a book, without just hearing shit.
Yeah.
And then you could spend a year in fucking France. You're not learning French. I don't think without a book or something, just hearing shit, I don't think you'd learn it.
It's neuroplasticity. There's a point at which your brain becomes less receptive to receiving that kind of input, and it's much younger than we would think. And so, like, I will say that Helen Keller was not environmentally retarded. Like, she didn't come from a bunch of like a retarded family. She came from a very rich family, like I said, but she had a disease at 19 months that knocked out those senses.
Was it scarlet fever?
That is literally what they said it was. Yeah,
I had scarlet fever at 2 years.
Fever. You
Yeah.
did?
Yeah.
When the fuck were you born?
73.
Christ.
No.
Holy shit, you had
Cholera
too? Oh my goodness.
Oh, yeah, we had the
Dysentery?
what the fuck is the bee plague called? I can't think of its name.
The bubonic plague?
That's what I'm going for. I had the
Bubonic
Like
plague.
Black Death?
I was trying to
That's
avoid
what
the
you had?
embarrassment of calling it the bulimic plague.
Bulimic
I
plague.
couldn't get past it. I'm stuck on it.
A squirrel with the bubonic
It made
plague
me
was just
throw up
found
a
in
lot.
Colorado.
Oh,
Colorado, they just found a
I
squirrel.
read
with
that
the
was
bubonic
Oh,
normal,
lock it
though.
down.
I read that squirrels
I don't think it's
often
that
have
big a
it.
deal, though. Like, I think the bubonic plague is totally curable with
Yeah, it's
antibiotics or
penicillin.
something. It's
Fucking
not a big thing
penicillin
anymore.
now.
Yeah, penicillin. So, but they're like, oh, squirrel has it. So we're all supposed to lose our
But
fuck
I
minds
think
again.
squirrels have it. I read squirrels have it a lot. I have to check my
Well, they do.
sources.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
but it's like the year of the shark. I don't remember this. Sometime like I don't know, 7 years ago. The sharks were fucking everywhere. The East Coast.
Yeah.
Every time there's a bite, they made the Time magazine is covering it. The year there turns out that was about a normal year for sharks. It was just a media creation.
It's how they present it.
And that might be
media
what
does this with everything. They do it with everything.
Every fucking thing.
Media has the unique ability to construct narratives wherever they see fit. Like they can just do it. They can just
They
create.
scare the shit out of people, make them do things, which is exactly what I think this COVID thing is. But whatevs.
Well, I don't know. That's like
attack.
I was more talking about the media pumping up this fraud Einstein.
Oh, that guy. Or that fucking retard Helen Keller.
Or that fucking retard Helen Keller. She can go fuck herself. Well, not really. She can't go fuck herself because she was a retard.
No, her hands work fine.
I would just lay my dick in her hand and tell her to read the fucking Bible or something. She's just going like this.
She's rail off your cock.
Yeah.
What if that like her communication style gave her this like extra dexterity and she gave great hand jobs?
Oh, a Helen Keller hand job.
Even her hand is fucking retarded, and she's doing shit. She doesn't know what's up. I'm done with the. I'm done with the apology for Helen Keller. She can go fuck.
I love this. I am watching videos. I am going down the Helen Keller fucking rabbit hole tonight.
And you know what? So much of the Helen Keller rabbit hole for me was it was watching videos and being like, this doesn't support my conclusion.
All right, let me find something that supports. That's my life, by the way.
That's my
let me
Facebook
find something
feed.
that supports my fucking That's Twitter, that's Facebook, and everything. Fuck you, fuck you. Oh, that agrees with what I think.
Yeah, it's like she learned by blah blah blah, and I'm like, this shit ain't funny. Who cares? No, I'm out of here.
That happened to me, but it wasn't based on my gameplay. I was trying to prove that Helen Keller was real, and they wouldn't let me get my words out. They just kept interrupting me with the text to speech. I was trying to play the video where she sounded like you could hear it coming. You couldn't hear the audio because they just bomb me with donations. It was funny.
I got to do that from now on. Just say every time I raid you. All right, say hi to Woody. If he's talking about Helen Keller, shut that shit down. You will not have him going against what is the true word of the show. That bitch is as retarded as the day is long.
That's funny.
I've swung back around on that. You're a menace for saying those awful things about that beautiful, talented genius of a woman.
I would have said it to her face.
Well, she's deaf, so
You were a retard. I'm gonna thump her right in the forehead so she knows there. You know what I would do? I would stand there with like a handful of pennies, and well, I guess it wouldn't matter because she couldn't hear them. Could she feel the vibrations? How big of a thing would I need to throw so she could feel a little spidey
She's not
sense?
Spider-Woman.
that'd be funny though if you drop rocks by her feet. Just freaked her out.
She couldn't feel. She can't feel rocks falling next to her, but she can write a dissertation on politics. Okay.
I didn't actually in her things. I didn't see political stuff. It was more like, I would love the world to be a better place. My great regret is that I'm not a better speaker because I could have had a larger message or something like that. Those things,
all those wonderful little messages dried up when her teacher died.
those things. Well, she lost her text to speech. She just had a human
Maybe
text
she
to
was
speech.
sad.
Maybe she was sad.
She had text to speech. Your text to speech would drive up if you lost Brian or whatever his name is.
Well, I'm convinced. Now, there could be video evidence of her speaking autonomously, clearly. No.
There is video evidence of her speaking autonomously clearly.
According to you.
We watched the video
Yeah. And
together
No.
in front of witnesses.
No. None of this happened.
That didn't happen.
None of this happened. You know, it's a forgery. She was just saying sounds. That was done in post.
Yeah, a lot of post-production going on in that black and white fucking video we watched. I just don't know why you're so hateful toward this woman. You're holding a mean and hateful grudge.
Well, it's not a grudge. She never did anything to me. It's just that she's retarded, and the world deserves to know. Do you believe strongman feats from like the 1870s too? Oh, strongman Johnson picked a goat of 2 goats in each hand with a horse atop. It's like,
well, the goats seem doable
with the horse atop.
Well, how big was the horse?
Okay, how about this? He picked up a cow and threw it 10 feet in a field.
Well, who is the strong man who threw cows?
There are so many strong men with bullshit claims from like way back in the day.
I saw the History Channel show. You see that where they have modern strong men try to recreate the feats of.
I think you linked me a YouTube video on that. Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Some of them couldn't do it because it was like, no, this is just impossible.
Yeah. Some of them were just ridiculous. Like one of them was this maybe a Civil War soldier who supposedly like picked up a cannon to like deprive the enemy of it, and they started looking at how much those cannons weighed, and I don't remember exactly, but maybe 1,100 fucking pounds.
Walking through the marsh under fire,
and literally the strongest men in the world are like, I cannot pick up the 1,100 pounds. It's not going to happen. Maybe 800, and you're like, dude can pick up 800, but he's saying that 1,100 is fucking impossible. I believe him. I fucking believe him.
He knows exactly the limits of human strength.
Yeah, and to their credit, they came up with some kind of a cannon. I don't remember what it was, 400, 500, 600 pounds, but they all picked that motherfucker up except for one guy. I want to say that what's his name? Thor Bjornsson, whatever the fuck, the mountain that rides was on that show picking up crazy shit. It was a pretty interesting show.
Yeah. I want to watch more.
Taylor tried convincing us. Are you familiar with Helen Keller?
Yeah, of course.
Taylor tried convincing us that Helen Keller was a fraud about a month or so ago.
Not that she was an intentional fraud.
And she was essentially a ventriloquist dummy for her assistant helper, the miracle worker. What was her name? Anne Sullivan.
Anne Sullivan.
Did you know Anne Sullivan was blind, Taylor?
Yeah, not deaf. Got my notes.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I was hoping that would.
God, you've got pages. Those pages. That single space, is it printed front and back? Please tell me.
It's not front and back. But there was a lot more data that I could have had, and I had to keep it succinct.
I think your lies to yourself.
Kyle says Taylor tried to convince us. I say Taylor made a compelling point. I went on the Dick Show with Dick Masterson. His audience thought it was a very compelling point as well.
I want a poll.
Dude, I will.
And look, here's
I'm going to win this one. I'm going to win this
Taylor has pages, right? Taylor's pages. I have a singular piece of evidence. Video of the fucking genius speaking without a hand up her ass, moving her mouth, intelligibly, like carrying on a very intelligent conversation.
It was apparently more than probably wants a cracker.
You watch the video of
I'm not watching
her name again, Helen Keller.
You're fucking horse shit nonsense. Look at this video from 1904.
Oh, look at all the evidence came from.
No, all of mine is look at it. It's typed.
Case closed.
You'd be the same guy. You're like, wow, look at this strong man from 1894. Can you believe no one to this day has lifted a cow and heaved it 30 yards? It's like, yeah, of course not. Of course not. Yeah, all those old records, that's all made up. Helen Keller, where are the blind deaf people talking now? I've said it so many times. Where are they?
Watch the video. I didn't say that.
No. Wait.
You're saying she's a secret retard.
Yes.
I'm saying secret genius. So I want to poll secret retard or secret genius. It's A or B, folks. And you've heard all of Taylor's evidence. My singular piece of evidence is the fucking video of her speaking. And she's literally saying, I wish I could speak better so that I could share my thoughts and feelings.
Wait, is that what she literally said? Or did she say,
I knew that.
Did she do that? Okay, Kyle, I will say this. Prepare to get blown the fuck out in this poll. Dude, secret retard it's going to be a waterfall into secret retard. Let's do that poll on the subreddit.
Do the poll.
Was it not said that she went deaf and blind after a fever? So she was hearing and seeing. So she had the basis for all this communication.
At the age of 19 months, though, and the current prognosis in the year 20. Yes, the current prognosis in the year 2020 for someone who goes blind and deaf is that they are not going to be able to communicate.
Do you know what they call the movie, Taylor?
The Miracle Worker.
Do you know why they call it that?
Yeah, they should have called
fucking
it
miracle
made up.
God's
they don't
not
call
it that.
They don't call it the thing just about anybody can do in this certain circumstance. Worker. They call it the miracle worker.
Yeah.
Is there a documented case of somebody who was both deaf and blind before 2 years that has
miracles don't happen all the time? If they do, they call it ordinary game on ice.
No, see,
they would just call it the Olympic hockey game that time we won.
No, thank you so much, Tucker. I needed someone else on my side here. Yeah,
No, I was just asking. I wasn't on anybody's side. I'm just asking for more empirical data. What is there any documented example? Okay, Taylor.
There is one documented example prior to her. Prior to her.
Oh, never mind.
And even less reliable. There's none. No modern day ones. No modern day ones I can find.
If there's not anybody in the last 30 years, I believe Taylor, because if with modern tech we have no ability to teach somebody, I don't care about how improbable it is. It's just not going to happen. Like, we have all of the tools at our disposal. We can literally rebuild eyeballs. I don't know if that's true or not, but
we're getting close. We get like girl on
getting close.
Yeah, secret genius. Secret genius.
No,
watch the video of the girl speaking and then tell me that it's all a sham.
Don't believe your lying eyes and ears. No, it's obviously, that was a little pun, but yeah, she's retarded. Absolutely. There's so many more points here that I could regale Tucker with, but I don't want to.
No, we don't need to rehash.
We don't want to rehash.
I really wish
I'm already on your side.
I wish you had just as vehemently defended my theory that there was no Holocaust. Like that would have.
What the hell,
dude? There's no punishment for saying.
I don't have time to completely disprove the Holocaust. We've only got another 2.5, 3 hours here. But if you want to talk later, Tucker, I'll convince you. Don't worry.
Nope, I'm good.
I've got some documents that I'm going to need you to download.
I'll not be doing that. That's
pop on his stream and cover it.
Yes, I would like to come on your stream. Wait till there's a lot of people in there, though. You doing a sponsored stream anytime soon? That'd be a good night to do it.
Jesus.
Yeah, well,
let's see what this stream's brought to you by Logitech. Now let's talk about the Jews.
Oh man, a couple jokes there, can't say, but when a good one pops in your head.
Oh, are the Jews silencing you again?
Just all day, every day, man. I can't get my.
It's
can't get
about
my
who you
truth
can't
out.
criticize.
And that's Helen Keller. Apparently, she's wooing us from the grave. That dumb bitch.
You've got reams of documents over there mocking a deaf, retarded girl.
She'll never know.
Blind girl who was not retarded.
Wait, so you admit that
Well, she was retarded, but then she
And
was.
the ball swings this way.
But then she was unretarded by Anne Sullivan.
You can't once retarded, always retarded.
I don't co-sign that.
I did
No,
I
I don't know either.
I think a better
We know some
analogy
people
is
who have recovered.
the needle can never go further than the gauge allows it.
Yeah.
And if you're on the needle is on the spectrum, you can't get off of it.
Yeah. And she didn't even have a
Can we
speedometer.
watch the video of her speaking, or is that some copyright shit? I mean, it's in black and white.
It's copyrighted.
It's
Okay.
copyrighted
All right.
by the
I don't wanna
Helen
get in
Keller
trouble.
Foundation.
I don't know if it's
I
copyrighted.
just went
but I
to a
don't wanna
different
watch
section of my YouTube channel.
Neither do
I
I.
have like hundreds of complaints against other
Same
people that I
wavelength.
could file.
Oh,
right.
nice.
YouTube
Start
is-
locking them down, Woody. It'd be fun.
Let's get off
a
of
lot of our
Holocaust
PKA
denial.
clips we never go after that.
What are we doing?
it. Dude, you
Look,
know what I
folks,
want
all I
to do?
need you to do, go to Helen Keller Speaks Out on YouTube. 7 million views. All right. It's from 1954.
How many
This is the fucking
dislikes?
dark ages. You want to know the like-dislike ratio? I'm
Yeah.
sure it's
That's 'cause people feel bad.
it looks like they're disabled, frankly.
Just like her.
Saw that coming too.
That was quick. There's another one here. Yeah. 20,000 to 300 on the second one of her talking. And then the third highest ranked video when you search Helen Keller talking is Taylor proves Helen Keller was a fraud.
And how many views does that one have?
No,
280,000.
See 280,000 people on my side. Click on my video and see what the dislike ratio is, because my dislike ratio, not disabled, totally abled.
How do you know? You're just
19,000 to
guessing.
500.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh, dominating. 500 losers in there, but who cares? Yeah. See, don't watch his bullshit video. Watch my video, and you'll be.
You've already seen his video. We all know his cruel and
glossing
evil
over
take.
You got over 250,000 people watching you disprove that Helen Keller was not like
Just that
There was
clip of
like-
it. That's not even
Why-
a show.
Why
That-
even attack Helen Keller? Like, what is like?
Well, we do this reoccurring
it
thing
made
where
me
we
laugh.
You were like this unproblematic part of human history that seems to have a positive thing. I just gotta prove it. Gotta prove it to everyone. It's just a fraud.
Kyle, this helps you. Hold on. So, since 1959, Tommy was also deaf and blind and learned to communicate like Helen Keller. Ronnie Merjaka was also deaf and blind and
What's
learned
Tommy's
to communicate.
last name? I don't trust a one name.
Tommy made up.
I could look it up.
Tommy fictitious.
I don't care.
Time to fabricate.
Yeah, Tommy a fabricator.
Okay, all right.
Silly.
I got a little quick. Tommy is actually a fictitious character from the Who's pinball player.
Yes,
Oh, wait.
I'm winning this poll. I'm winning this poll.
I should have read more carefully. Haben Gurma is a deaf-blind person that graduated from Harvard Law School, actually.
Is that her name?
In
It sounded like when she said it.
2019. In 2019, Haben Gurma, Harvard Law graduate, deaf-blind.
Woody, is that her
When
name
did-
or how
when
she
did-
says it?
Heaven gobla.
And then, that's the last one's not
When
true.
did no? But
Oh my
no,
God! Can we
again,
get a deaf blind person as a guest?
How are they going to get on Discord? Anyways,
Look, they don't actually have to be deaf and blind. They just have to be real good at pretending.
I need to know. I want to know my only stipulation to believe Taylor or not believe Taylor relies on the fact that both of these people have to have been deaf and blind around the same age as Helen Keller was at 19 months and learned some level of communication that would put them on par with Helen Keller, which I believe is like pseudo conversational.
Yeah, and I actually know like the kind of stuff you're talking about, Woody. That what Tucker just hit the nail on the head. It's about the age that it happens and the extent to which the blindness and deafness is total. For Helen Keller, total. If like apparently like if you're able to form words and you can understand language and stuff, like so if you go blind and deaf at age 15, you have the requisite to be more understanding.
Helen Keller didn't have total deaf and blindness, and she just hammed it
No,
up
that's what
for
I was going to
sympathy.
say. Who, for all you know, like maybe we didn't have the correct testing. Like if he's like, how many fingers am I holding up? And Helen Keller can only see like dark.
I think that lying bitch wasn't very disabled at all. And she just pretended to be disabled to lower expectations.
Like, I don't want to talk to y'all.
That's right, too.
Wow, what a genius.
She's also a telepath.
Can you get her to talk when you're not holding a lighter under her toes? No, this is our training session. Do you need that rider's crop to hit her in the top of the hand?
It's like a circus. The tricks are pretty awesome at the show, but the training behind the scenes is dreadful.
It's horrific. It's just horrific.
Dude, the amount of response I've gotten on I haven't been on social media that much, so maybe it's just me like not checking Twitter as often, and so it seems like a lot more. But people have really resonated with the truth I was spitting about Helen Keller last week. And I'm so proud of it. I'm anyone out there, I'm calling into I talked to Dick Masterson. He wants me to call into his show again this Sunday. This Sunday I'm calling into the Dick show. I don't know when it goes live, but he wants me to enlighten his audience as well about how much of a fraud Helen Keller.
I'm so afraid.
So,
I want to jump in here. So last night I'm live streaming. And when you were giving me the Helen Keller spiel, I bought it hook, line, and sinker. I was 110% Team Taylor that this fucking woman is a fraud who generations of Americans, generations of humans have been baffled by this woman who couldn't speak, who I guess she could speak. She couldn't see and she couldn't hear. And then I watched videos. Taylor, she is much more capable than you said she was. I watch and I'm listening to her talk, and then she has the other person. I'm like, that's the same thing. I heard her talking.
Hey, Woody, why did all of her speeches, public engagements, and books cease as soon as Anne Sullivan died? Well, why wouldn't she continue to speak her truth to everyone who wanted to know it?
Taylor,
as soon as her teacher died,
falling for the lies of Big Sullivan.
Activism and her abilities disappear. That's Taylor, fucking weird.
I'm listening to her talk, and then I listen to Anne Sullivan, and it's like, oh my God, that's what she said. So on my live stream, I'm like, guys, Taylor said she signed into her palm, right? You could actually hear her say all these words, and I'm trying to show my stream what Helen Keller's capabilities really were. I say, they fucking donation bomb me. Whenever you donate like 15 seconds of Shucks You plays, and you couldn't hear a goddamn thing on the video because they were like just bombarding like $3 at a time.
We're not interested, lads. We're not interested in this nonsense propaganda of Anne Sullivan training Helen Keller to say certain things. And then, first of all, the first book she ever wrote when she was 11 turned out to be a complete fabrication that was plagiarized from someone who wrote it a couple decades prior. Entirely.
That's how I wrote when I was 11.
Now, and when you were 11, no, it was Anne Sullivan writing through this savant. And then Anne Sullivan realized, nobody's going to buy this. I should wait a few more years. And then she writes all of her books, gets everything published through Helen Keller. And then it's crazy. It's almost like as soon as she died, Helen Keller no longer had any takes about anything ever. It's just weird.
I'm unfamiliar. So if I'm understanding the context, Helen Keller's teacher was named Anne Sullivan. What teacher of what?
Oh shit!
So Anne Sullivan was the one who taught her how to sign and communicate. And what really happened is that Helen Keller's parents were rich. They didn't want to admit that. I'm giving the abridged version. Helen Keller's parents, rich, very, very privileged, did not want to admit that they had a daughter who was retarded. And so they basically got a teacher, and they picked different teachers. This is something else I didn't even bring up. They went through different teachers, and so many teachers were like, yeah, there's no fucking way, dude. And then Anne Sullivan shows up, and they're paying her a handsy sum. And she's like, oh, well, it turns out your daughter, she's not only not blind deaf, she's got a lot of political opinions. She's got a lot of astute and well-researched opinions that she couldn't possibly know. And then immediately, or very soon after, she begins espousing the same beliefs as Anne Sullivan. And like I said, when Anne Sullivan died, all of these beliefs, all these speeches, all these books dried up. And so I put it together that she was retarded.
Why would you say she had no access to that? You're saying Helen Keller couldn't Google this stuff like anybody else?
Yeah, Taylor.
No, if you put Google in front of her, she wouldn't know what to do.
Taylor, tell him what the title to your little spiel was.
Helen Keller's Secret Retard.
my favorite part. That's my favorite part.
I still got a couple copies of it printed out at home. Very, very.
Oh, I bet you do.
He had some out at work.
I bet that manifesto is getting thicker by the day over there. God knows what.
That's what I do. My manifesto is 100% about Helen Keller. And also, this bitch said this, and it's made up. And it's like, why did he do this?
Kyle, it
Just
seems
to
thicker
scare the
than it
truth
is
about
because
Helen
of all the braille. It
All the
raises
braille.
it makes the pages twice as thick.
Yeah.
So.
That's true. Yeah, it looks like a big book. Not really. It's just got bumps all over it.
Yeah, it's. I guess I'm on board. You know, I wasn't beforehand, but I'm pretty sure you can.
They totally shut me down when I was trying to like show the Helen Keller video and demonstrate her capabilities.
And boys, don't you stop. Do not allow propaganda to be spoken without response.
What are you saying? Her capabilities? You're saying that she was more able than she let on, or
no, more able than Taylor let on. So, like when Taylor said, "You know, this thing's a big scam," what Helen Keller would do is sign into Ann Sullivan's palm, and then Ann Sullivan would tell you what she just said. And I'm like, that does sound wildly suspicious, right? Like, you know, we speak in the secret palm sign language code, and I use that's bullshit. So then I went to YouTube and started watching some Helen Keller videos, and she's just talking. She's saying things, and
how do you know that's actually Helen Keller and not a psyop? Helen Keller.
Touche. Yeah, I guess you got me there.
She's talking the same way a parrot does. The same way a parrot talks is the way she talks.
Like with her feathers? What do you mean?
No, like Helen Keller is mimicking sounds that she's heard in the past. There's even a thing there where Helen's got her like hands on the mouth of Ann Sullivan, and Ann Sullivan's like, and when I go, and Helen Keller go, It's like, and when I go, and Helen goes,
wait a goddamn minute. I'm watching her talk right now. She speaks very well.
These are post-production effects.
Black and white. Give a link. I want to see it.
Black and white.
Yeah, Kyle.
I'm gonna try to timestamp it for you.
I will not abide any discussion that she is not a retard.
That's why it's believable.
Kyle's going through the same steps.
Black and white.
I am. All right.
You made it black and white, so it's believable. That's the key. That's how they get you.
Oh, you're watching Helen Keller Speaks Out.
All right. Cue up.
No propaganda film.
I'm at 206.
Let me just poison the well here. Heavily edited.
Clearly, there's some Adobe work in here. Tell me when you're at 206.
I am.
Okay, hold on.
Oh, wait, hold on a second. I gotta.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Figure this out on this. I don't have the chat up. I'll just. You know what? Just fucking do it without me. It's fine.
Ready, set, play.
Disappointment in not being able to speak normally.
It is the acute disappointment in not being able to speak normally.
Longingly, I think how much more good I
Bullshit.
Longingly, I feel how much more good I could have done if I had acquired normal speech.
But within this sorrowful experience,
Incredible.
I understand.
No, lies.
It's fucking incredible.
I'm inspired.
I literally am inspired because like just so we're all on the same page. I know Steve isn't watching, so let me describe. This woman who cannot see or hear and has been like that since she was like 14 months old or some shit,
19.
has learned to speak by touching the lips of her teacher while she says a word and then signing that word into her hand so she knows what word is being said.
Where's the rest of them?
Based on that, she is having a full fucking conversation and saying that one of her life's greatest regrets is that she can't speak normally. And she's speaking well enough that I can understand like 90% of it. It's like someone with a very strong accent. If you've ever heard a deaf person speak, how there's a really kind of like odd tone to it, and they don't. But she's moving her lips based on memory of touching someone's lips and she's having a legitimate conversation and speaking eloquently.
Why did she never speak after Anne Sullivan died?
Wait, new theory. Helen Keller was completely able the entire time.
Oh,
And it was faked in order to show the improvement.
Helen Keller, secret fake.
Okay. Well, I even said on the show there were 3 options, only one of which is impossible. One option, she is a retard, and she's being manipulated like a parrot. Second option, she is faking deaf, dumb, and blind. Third option, she's the first deaf, dumb, blind woman to be able to make astute political observations about things she's never seen. Only one of those is totally impossible.
How good was she at pinball? That'll tell us.
Probably not good. I don't think they had that yet.
I know the song. I'm with you.
Thank you.
Taylor's gone.
I just found a YouTube video, Meet the Deaf Blind Lawyer Fighting for People. I'm not sure she's the only deaf-blind person to communicate. Here's a 17-minute video of various deaf-blind people communicating.
And you know what? A lot of that, I know
and it looks
exactly
like it was made
17...
in 1970, so I'm pretty sure there's been a lot more deaf-blind people who can communicate since.
You know what? I know exactly the deaf-blind study you're citing because I looked into this when I was talking about Helen Keller. And a lot of what you're about to look at there are people who went deaf at 14 and blind at 17 because of scarlet fever. And so obviously they have the requisite skill set in order to engage in conversation if they need to.
If that's true, why are they signing into each other's hands?
How long is that video?
17 minutes.
I'm saying nobody who's 19 months. All right, we got to get off Helen Keller.
Taylor's like, this is really upsetting for me. I can't.
Now it's time to switch subjects.
No, the truth does not come out. The truth is found last episode, my friends.
So Taylor will sometimes just define a truth. Like, no one has ever done this before and ever done this since. If you don't think that you're a fool. Moving on. It's just like, what? That needs to be fact checked.
Nope.
Okay. Yeah, never mind. Fact checks are bad.
When you denied the Holocaust, I was a little off put, but now this Helen Keller stuff, I really can't.
Wait, that was your conspiracy theory.
That's not how I remember it. That was Taylor.
Oh, okay. That was me.
Just kidding.
I've been doing retarded ones the whole time. The Denver airport one, that was a solid one. I walked around the Denver airport a little bit when I got here. The murals in that place, it's fucking weird.
It is weird. Did you see the horse?
There's no way to deny it. It is weird.
Did you see the statue outside?
Yeah, I saw Lucifer, the big horse, like with the red glowing eyes. The Denver airport is fucking weird. There's an odd aesthetic. It's fucking really gargoyles at baggage claim. What the fuck is up with that?
What's the wait? You're asking that everyone in the city is high. You're wondering why the airport looks weird?
Yeah, but
because the airport was built decades ago, way before they were all chill with pot.
Yeah.
Well, way before it was legalized, but it's not like they legalized pot in Denver and suddenly people were like, "I've heard a lot about this. Can we give it a try?" Like Denver has been like the home of mushrooms forever.